Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and today is my first official installment of what I hope to be a new series, and that series is going to be Fandom Fridays. Now, if you watched the Miraculous Ladybug speed paint that I did on Christmas Day, that was originally supposed to be my first Fandom Fridays, but because what happened was the Anime Art Amino had a Secret Santa going on, and I wanted to include my YouTube video for the blog post for the person, so I ended up making it a Christmas Day kind of special instead of an actual Fandom Friday. So you're getting Cat Noir today. Now don't be alarmed if you're only here for the Poke Paints. I will still be doing those because, I mean, hey, there's like, what, 800 of them now? So if you're only here for Poke Paints, thank you for supporting my channel. But I do want to do other drawings as well as Pokemon. So I did want to start branching out into characters from other shows or other genres. So stay tuned for those if that's something you're interested in. I have been a fan of Miraculous Ladybug for about a year now. I know it has been out for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And I really do enjoy it. I love the storyline, even though it's pretty much the same thing episode to episode. But I do remember when I was watching it, how excited I was to see how they were going to defeat the enemy. And I also kind of liked the relationship between, well, I guess I can't really say relationship because you just have to watch it. It really racked my brain and made me like, it was making me twitchy because I so want these two main characters to get together, and it's just so frustrating because they really do like each other, but they don't know it, and it's so annoying. As you guys know from the Lucario speed paint, I am just terrible at fur, hair, things like that. It's not my favorite thing to do. Do I want to learn how to do it better? Of course. It would make me a better artist for knowing. But I had so much trouble trying to figure out Cat Noir's hair. It was definitely a challenge. I don't know if you really saw, but at the beginning when I was drawing it, I kind of put my hands on the table, and at that point I had to kind of breathe because there is so much like rigidity and spikiness to this character's hair, and it was getting really frustrating for me to try and figure out. And while I was shading it, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do, because with Ladybug, her hair was pretty easy to do. It was just in a ponytail, and it was very windswept, so it was very flowy, and that was easy to do. But trying to figure out how to highlight each of Cat Noir's individual spikes, especially since my yellow layer, my line art, was disappearing under the watercolor, that was really frustrating. So I kind of just played it by ear. I put in pretty much most of the color with the watercolor, and then I definitely made the decision late in the game to use the colored pencils to add the details, because at that point I was pretty much done painting. I didn't want to do his hair any more than I already had, especially since laying down the shadows was starting to pool, and you guys know that I hate when my watercolor pools because then the colors get all runny and muddy and it just looks just a mess. I just looked at my notes here, and I didn't actually use yellow for the liner. I used a peach color, and in my notes it said that it was giving me a hard time, which it was. I don't know if it's because there was some like waxy buildup on my pencil and it just wasn't moving. I couldn't get rid of it. So at one point I did switch to gray, but only for the parts that I knew were going to be black, because I wanted to be able to see those a little bit better. kind of like with the ladybug drawing, I was having a lot of difficulty trying to get the skin tone right. And I was even telling my boyfriend, I said, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I keep laying on the colors and it's just not looking right. So what I ended up doing was I added a color called Burnt Carmine, which is kind of a deep purpley red. And that eventually like did the trick. It just looked a ton better. And that's when I finally kind of sighed a big sigh of relief. Like, oh, thank goodness, now he looks like he actually has shadows on his face. But skin is so hard for me because it's not just one color. Skin tone, especially shadows, definitely have a lot more color to them. And that's something that I really want to get used to doing a lot more. So that's kind of part of the reason why I want to, you know, branch out into non-Pokemon related characters. Oh, his cat suit. I mean, his literal, like, cat suit. That was a pain in the butt for me to do too, because in the drawing, of course, I have the reference image down below. The highlights in his suit are blue as well as light gray, so I did try to incorporate blue in the drawing, and I wasn't really sure if I should go over it with the black, if I shouldn't, if I just should let it, you know, stand out more. I don't know. I didn't practice this or anything. Pretty much when I do my drawings, it's me just doing them. I don't usually practice the art before I do these videos. So what you see is what you get, people. But anyway, my big fail for this video was his baton, his pole, I don't know, I like to call it his Goku pole, because kind of like Goku, he uses it like a lot whenever he falls or something. He uses it to catch himself, and I didn't know how to do it in the watercolor, so I ended up using pencils, and it looks very bad. It looks out of place. It looks pretty terrible. So doing metal like shiny surfaces is something I want to practice too. In the end, I'm actually really happy with how he turned out. I like how his hair turned out. I mean, I love the shadows. It makes his one ear pop out a lot more whenever I added the shadow underneath on his hair. I really like how that looks. I like how his skin looks. I like how his cat suit even turned out. I definitely would like to do him more, just because I do love the show. I love characters, and I really want to try doing them a lot more, because I do think that would help with my hair problem, and it would help with my skin problem. So maybe expect those a little bit more here and there in the future. So hopefully that doesn't get too annoying. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in to more of my videos. And I always keep your suggestions coming, keep your comments coming. I love talking to you guys, you know that. So until next time, guys, I hope you have an awesome day.